Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Niasim. I saw videos from Latinos calling for unity, saying that Latinos are not only the target, that Black people are also the target. Just cut that piece, because Black people, they've always been the target. Like Black people don't know, they know. So stop that Latinos are not the only target. And those that are saying for Black people that refuse to come out to protest during a Latino period, excuse me, how many Latinos came out to protest for themselves? How many of them? You all are always looking for a way to flip the narrative, like Black people are the problem. Black people knew all this were going to happen. That was one of the reasons why they called every one of you all out to do the right thing. You did not do the right thing. That's why we continue to have constant eyes red in communities. If you had done the right thing, I am sure this wouldn't have been the case. Now they are calling for unity. There ain't anything wrong in calling for unity, but trying to tell me that Black people are also the target is like trying to diminish the things that they have done before, or trying to make it look like they have not always been the target. I mean, can you guys cut that crap? Because at this point, it's not making sense. Unity, essential, important, but not the way you guys are trying to flip the narrative. Let's get into this video.
Black Americans and Latinos, I've been saying for months that we need to come together and unite for something greater to come. And I wasn't speaking on the ICE protest. I was speaking on what is now currently happening. A perfect example is the apartment complex that was raided on October 1st in Chicago. That apartment complex is predominantly Black Americans. And ICE didn't just raid the apartments where they believed that in Nicaragua, the Venezuelan gang people lived. They raided every single apartment. And what makes things worse is that people were being dragged out of their homes, regardless how they were dressed, including naked. And they didn't just limit this to adults. This was children too. Side note, apartments were being raided even if there was no warrants for anybody living in that apartment. But here's where things get worse. A video is currently circulating the internet where it shows that a Black American is being detained by ICE, and one of the Black Americans that's watching the whole thing is yelling, "You're supposed to be doing this to Mexicans, not us." But listen for yourself. Let's listen one more time, but in slow motion. The amount of arrogance to believe that this is just supposed to be a Mexican thing. And also, I think you mean Latinos because not everybody's a Mexican. But to continue, a lot of people have come onto TikTok making videos joking about if Black Americans are being detained, where are they going to get sent to? And that shows me that you guys are not aware of what's currently happening. Do you know that there's agencies that make money off the prison system? For every prisoner and every day that that prisoner spent there, there's agencies out there that make money. And this year, ICE began making money for every detainee that they hold per day. A lot of these Latinos that are being arrested and held in detention centers are not being deported. They're being held and have been in those detention centers for months. Months. Some even have stated a year, if not longer. This was never about deportations. This has always been about money. And history has proven time and time again, when Black Americans come together with Latinos, we get things done. So why is 2025 any different? Hopefully this was an eye-opener for a lot of people who didn't believe that it would happen to them, or that they were exempt because of their quote-unquote political views, beliefs, or
Alright, y'all, I need everybody to pay attention, bro. Pay attention, because I said what I said when I said they will come for you. And I have a lot of my own people who wanted to go against me and say that this is not our fight. I'll tell you right now, they just raided South Shore, a predominantly Black community. Went in there, got 40 people abducted, naked, bro. Separating children from their parents, handcuffs. Most of these people look like us. Now, with that being said, another man was being choked in the middle of traffic after crashing, again, by ICE. So I need y'all to pay attention to this, because again, when I told y'all what I told y'all, that it can happen to you, it can happen to us, that these things would happen, I was met with a lot of other stuff. Like this wasn't gonna be a thing, and it very much is a thing. I told y'all, it's affecting everybody. It's affecting everybody. There's never been a greater time to unite between black and brown people. Anybody who's on the same wave of going against the shit that is happening. There's never been a time more than right now for us to unite and stand together. No excuses. No excuses. Let's stop playing about it. Yes, it was always your fight. It was always our fight. Because it's literally the same plight. Let's stop playing. Let's stop playing. The similarities are so much greater than the difference. But the more we keep focusing on the differences, we're not going to understand the similarity between the common enemy. Let's not play these games no more. Get out your heads. Lose the ego. We here for each other.
Hear me out. I want y'all to hear me out. So, you remember people kept saying, but you guys, what are you going to do when you guys are next? When black people are next? Because after us, what are you going to do? Because they're going to be after you. So you are that unaware about what's been going on in the black community for centuries that you think that we haven't been suppressed, oppressed. Are you kidding me? That blows my mind. And you expect me to run to want to help you? Our babies been getting snatched up out our arms. Our houses been getting burnt up. Our fathers been getting killed. Our mothers been getting raped. We been getting charged with stuff we didn't do. Kids been getting snatched up and locked up for crimes they did not commit. So, when you see me say, I'm stepping back, this y'all fight, y'all got it, I sincerely mean it. I'm resting and I'm raising my children. That's what y'all did. And you still don't get it. Crazy.
Things people told us weren't going to happen, they're happening. In Chicago last night, there were raids on an apartment building. They detained American citizens. They had children in zip ties. They separated people by color. They had black people in one van, Hispanic people in another. They are not going to stop at just immigrants. That is something they're using to start very nefarious things. I don't know how people don't see this yet. Some of you don't see this yet, and you really need to open your eyes. I don't care if you're black, if you're white, if you're Hispanic. I don't care what you are. You should be paying attention to what's happening. What they are doing. There's that poem that people always say, and then they came for me. First they go for this group, and then this group, and then this group. And you just sit there thinking, well, I'm not part of that group. I'll be fine. They're not going to do anything to me or my family. And the next thing you know, you fall in that category that they no longer find desirable in society, and they label as a threat. Because that's what they're doing. They're trying to label immigrants as a threat to us, and it won't be long before they label other groups as a threat. Nobody should be okay with this. If I have one comment here, if they would just come here legally, I swear. We need people to pay attention. You need to wake up. You need to see what is happening. What is happening right now? What side of history are you going to be on? Nobody should be okay with this.
So you're telling me that this ICE situation was never about illegal immigrants, that they are going into apartment buildings in Chicago and busting down doors in the middle of the night and arresting people that are citizens that are, oh my gosh, they're still trying to piece together and find out what is going on, what has happened, why did they target that neighborhood. And it's 7500 as South Shore Drive in Chicago. Seems to be like a housing project or something like that, but hog tying children and detaining children and having U-Haul trucks to put people in remind you all over again of how what they were doing with COVID. This is ridiculous. I'm talking about the Department of Homeland Security said federal agents with Border Patrol, the FBI, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives arrested 37 people in the raid. DHS said some of those arrested are believed to be involved in drug trafficking distribution. We're talking about targeting neighborhoods where people are sleeping, where kids are sleeping, invading their homes, going in and busting down the door at 12 o'clock in the morning when kids have to go to school the next day. They don't care. I mean, like, really, what's going on and what's next? What do we do? How do we defend ourselves against our own government? How do we overthrow our own government? Because they keep saying it's an immigration thing or whatever, but it's not just an immigration thing. To me, it's bigger than that. It's way bigger than that. And we got to figure out what is it that we do next, because this is ridiculous.
Again, ICE is now detaining black citizens in Chicago. For every black American that got on the internet and this app and refused to talk about what ICE was doing and what is going on in our country, because I don't really care about the Hispanic community because they don't care about us, which is BS in of itself.
Well, hello there. At first, I wasn't going to reply to your video, but then I said, no, everybody deserves to know how the hell did you escape from in front of that car parking lot? Ain't this you? Well, isn't this you? Flip-flopping away from your job to hop on TikTok and criticize black Americans? Or is this you? Now, I'd never seen you before, but I knew from those braids that you was from the motherland. I don't know if you first, second, third immigrant generation, but them roots, and I do not mean you genetics, I mean them braids are straight from the motherland. And then the accent alerted me to something too. Talking shit about black Americans and then sounding like you're asking a question every time that you speak. I said, oh, she was raised around white folk. That's why she could talk shit about black Americans like this. And I was right, because I found a video where you were saying black people who were raised around white people. It's always y'all that were raised around non-black people who are so quick to dismiss black Americans, to critique us. You never give us any praise as far as I can see in your video. I scrolled down a couple of months and the majority of your videos are talking about Palestine. In the almost 2 months of your videos, you brought up black American issues one time, and that was about a 14-year-old boy in Wisconsin. The other time that you mentioned black people was when you were trying to sell your book for your personal gain, mind you. While your other selling items videos for Palestine, the donations go right to their cause. But let me school you, because obviously you have some type of disconnect about what happens to black Americans because you didn't grow up with us, nor did you care to understand us. You don't care about black American sacrifices that allowed you to immigrate to this country. And I know that a lot of y'all have said that we're so tired of hearing about black American sacrifices for immigration. We lost ancestors because of this. Whole bloodlines eradicated fighting for the rights of everybody. Black people never stand up for our own rights. We do everything for everyone, even Black Lives Matter, civil rights movement. We got nothing. Hispanics have historically fought to be considered white in this country. Said we ain't niggas. Seriously, said we ain't niggas in court. So we shouldn't be treated like it. They come in our neighborhoods and act these race wars, kick us out of our own places, our communities, give us fucking times that we can't be outside like it's a fucking sundown town in some areas. And we have done nothing but embrace the Hispanic community. They get mad when we say don't say the N-word. You also don't understand that it was Black Americans who helped set up anti-ICE protests prior to this scrambling effort now that ICE has been unleashed, prior to the Trump administration. Black Americans have been fighting to protect everyone at the detriment of ourselves. The same immigrants that we helped come over here, Asian, Hispanic, all of them, have huge portions of their population that voted against Black American interests. On your page, you haven't said shit in defense of Black Americans or the genocide that we are going through. No mention of that. No mention about the different methods of eradication this country has been using against us for 400 years. Our low birth rates, our children being born with more deformities, us dying in childbirth, all because of environmental, socioeconomic impacts. Our men locked up in prison. Our children can't get an equal education opportunity. The CIA and the FBI and the government as a whole dropping off drugs and guns in our communities. Are you talking about come for us next? We are first. They never stopped. Yet we still persevered, still put everybody else's shit above our own. And now look, y'all can take this how you want to take it, but I'm going to tell you the truth. Black Americans fought for immigration rights, which we didn't need because we already here. Even though the immigration laws make it hard for immigrants to come into the country, like Hispanic immigrant, we still did that. We never argued that Hispanics don't have a right to come into the land. But when they started doing it illegally, they put Black Americans at risk. Because this eventually was going to happen if you kept voting for Republicans. But you now want us to go and lay down our lives after our ancestors have already done so, instead of protecting ourselves for an issue we didn't cause. So now we're being punished. Oh, the Hispanics stood with you during Black Lives Matter. When did we protest Black specific issues? We asked for equality for all. Then we go and help you found institutions and movements for your race-specific issues with no mention of Black Americans. Y'all use the blueprint of how we protest, how we organize, everything. Every community does. We set the foundation, but you're mad because we don't want to get out there and put our bodies on the line? You're mad because we said we're going to focus on our Black American issues? You don't know what it's like for us to be in this country. Y'all act like we're just sitting here living the highlight. Nothing's going on. Black Americans chilling in our privilege. We're suffering and dying. And you have the nerve to get up here and critique us because we don't talk about the non-Black people that you want us to talk about. Because we want to focus on our own issues, right? But nobody's saying anything to anybody else. Why aren't you talking about Black issues? Why aren't you talking about Black American issues? Nobody is expected to do so except Black Americans. Y'all take us as a fucking joke. And that's why this is happening. Black Americans are the ones who have fought blood, tooth, and nail to prevent what's happening now. We make up less than the Hispanic population in America. But y'all are crawling over to us and blaming us? You're crying tears for them? And then you want to use a Black American struggle of being arrested by ICE, which is not our fault, to rub it in our face? You dislike Black Americans so much that you're walking around with your hair looking like that. We could fix that for you. But no, you'd rather walk around looking like a dandelion and popping straight out of the ground. I'm going easy on you, but why don't you sit down and learn something about Black American history, our struggle, the genocide that we're going through, and then get back to me. Because you're also a hypocrite, because while you're whining about Palestine and all of these genocides that's happening to non-Black American people, you sitting your ass at McDonald's having a meal. Interesting. Because last I checked, McDonald's donates to this genocide of Palestinians that you say you're against. 10 out of 10.
I'm not surprised that ICE is detaining Black people in Chicago. This has always been a movement against minorities, not only against us Latinos. And it's white supremacy coming into fruition. We know that this is a mass attack on everyone that is not white. So I'm not surprised at all. And this is why, the young lords and the Black Panthers marched back in the fucking 60s and the 70s, because we knew that our causes were one and the same. And we knew we need to do the same fucking thing. Black people and brown people and Latinos, we need to unite. We need to understand that this is a full frontal attack on all minorities. It's gonna get really fucking bad. And you have the governor of like fucking Chicago and everyone saying, hey, make sure that you take pictures of these people when they're doing these illegal arrests, that you're documenting everything, because this is like full on Third Reich shit. It's getting really bad, bro. We need to win the midterms next year. If we don't do that, this dude is like a maniac. Trump is like full on crazy at this point. And all their MAGA nut jobs are supporting him. And it's one of the saddest things in the planet. But yeah, Black people, be aware of it. We need to work together because this is not looking good. Que tengan buen día. I'll keep you guys posted. I'm not surprised that ICE is detaining Black people in Chicago. This has always been a movement against minorities, not only against us Latinos. And it's white supremacy coming into fruition. We know that this is a mass attack on everyone that is not white. So I'm not surprised at all. And this is why, the young lords and the Black Panthers marched back in the fucking 60s and the 70s, because we knew that our causes were one and the same. And we knew we need to do the same fucking thing. Black people and brown people and Latinos, we need to unite. We need to understand that this is a full frontal attack on all minorities. It's gonna get really fucking bad. And you have the governor of like fucking Chicago and everyone saying, hey, make sure that you take pictures of these people when they're doing these illegal arrests, that you're documenting everything, because this is like full on Third Reich shit. It's getting really bad, bro. We need to win the midterms next year. If we don't do that, this dude is like a maniac. Trump is like full on crazy at this point. And all their MAGA nut jobs are supporting him. And it's one of the saddest things in the planet. But yeah, Black people, be aware of it. We need to work together because this is not looking good. Que tengan buen día. I'll keep you guys posted.
Just saw another content creator post on this and I need to comment on it. She talked about how ICE is now detaining Black people in Chicago. And then she goes on to say, oh, for all the Black people that weren't supporting Latinos or didn't think this was going to happen to you, look what's happening now. Get off your high horse and you need to support them and I can't believe you, blah, 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 blah. No, not fucking having it. I'm tired of Black people being blamed for every goddamn thing. I'm tired of Black people being blamed for every goddamn thing. Fuck y'all. We tried to prevent this, especially Black women. 92% stood 10 toes down to prevent all of this shit. We done told you this shit was gonna fucking happen. Y'all didn't fucking listen. We were there on November. Where the fuck were you? And now you see the aftermath? And let's be so fucking for real. There are so many Latinos who do not fuck with Black people. You have hella anti-Black fucking terminologies in your fucking, in your community. You always worship white skin. Your novellas are full of people with pale fucking white skin. You do not honor or even acknowledge Afro-Latinos. You don't fuck with us. You don't fuck with us. Don't pretend. When your back is against the wall, then you want Black people out there fucking marching and fucking fighting for your rights, because the rights that everybody has in this country, if you are not a fucking white male, the rights you enjoy are because my community shed our fucking blood to make that possible. And then you get to turn around and enjoy rights that I still don't get to fucking enjoy. And then you want to come for Black people and say, oh, like we have some type of power to stop fucking ICE? If we had that type of power, we'd stop ourselves from being fucking victimized. And then they have the nerve to say we're next? God damn it, we've never not been fucking on the goddamn chopping block. It's never been a period of time where we weren't fucking targeted. We're always fucking targeted. Always. And y'all care some fucking times when you are having the same experience. When Asians are being targeted with fucking COVID, all of a sudden they can relate to what the fuck we were going through. When Latinos are fucking experiencing something, then you want solidarity with us. But otherwise, y'all are fucking trying to align with white supremacy. You're trying to curl up with fucking white people. Asians saying they don't like affirmative action in colleges. You don't give a fuck about legacy admissions. White people getting into college because their grandfather got to go to college because white supremacy made that possible. We can't do legacy admissions because they didn't fucking let us go to school. You don't give a fuck about that, but you want to bitch about affirmative action Asians? A lot of Asians don't even fucking vote. Fucking Latinos, you want to think you're better than us. But when the shit targets you, then you feel like Black people owe you something. We don't owe you a
goddamn thing. The reason why we have gynecology that women get to enjoy is because Dr. Marion Sims tortured black women, cutting into us without anesthesia, without fucking any care, none of that shit. We've always been targeted. We've always been tortured. We fight and die to give you guys fucking rights. And then you want to separate yourselves from black people and align with white supremacy. And then when white supremacy turns on your ass and treats you just like fucking us, then we're to fucking blame? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Black women were the only ones who showed up in November last year to prevent this shit. We were the only fucking ones. But because you guys are so fucking racist and so fucking sexist, you wouldn't put a black woman in the fucking presidency. You wouldn't do that shit. You still trust white supremacy and you put that fucking Nazi in the goddamn White House, and here the fuck we are. Don't you ever fix your mouth to come for fucking black people. If it wasn't for us, none of you would have any goddamn rights. We built this fucking country. How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you?
Mexicans, and anybody that looked Mexican, was mass deported from the United States regardless of their legal status. This was the Mexican Repatriation Act that took place between 1929 and 1939. After World War I, the United States went into what we all know as the Great Depression. And during the Great Depression, a lot of people in the United States started blaming Mexicans for the lack of jobs. This is where the term "they're stealing our jobs" comes from. So under President Herbert Hoover, approximately 2 million people were forced to go to Mexico. Now here's the crazy part. It didn't matter if you were born in the United States. It didn't matter if you were one of the Mexicans whose families were in the United States before these places became the United States. And a lot of Native Americans were also part of this mass deportation. Now while this was implemented in all of the states, California, Texas, Illinois, Colorado, and Michigan were the states that were affected.
This is all I got from this video. Shout out to Crystal Black. You know, people just open their mouth and talk whatever that comes to their mind. I knew this ICE raid was going to bring some certain kind of talks, side talks and all that. But before you all start, let me tell you something. Whether you are a black person trying to say that we told black people to come, let's do something. What do you want black people to do? What did you plan for them to do after the election? You wanted them to hit the street, right? That was what you guys wanted, right? To hit the street and do what? You guys wanted them to save the situation. Okay. You that wants black people to save the situation, what have you done? First, let me ask, what have you done to save the situation? Now, let me tell you something. For those that do not know, I have been in this space for a while to understand what is going on in black community and what is not going on in black community. And that is, the target has always been black people. Has it always been black people? It has forever been black people. So all this side talk does not really count. Why am I saying this? I am saying this because black people knew what was going to happen. That was one of the reasons why they asked you people to come out and do the right thing. They knew they are also on the shopping block. Don't think they don't know. And for those that are asking, does it mean that black people are going through all of it? But what do you want them to do? To hit the street? Because you all saw how they wanted to declare martial law and you wanted them to be on the street. See, if you are calling for unity, call for unity on a normal ground. Do not start calling for unity because probably eyes are raiding black community and all that. Because we knew all this were going to happen. Did they tell, black people also told you about deportation and all that, right? Because they knew all this were in Project 2025 for majority of you that would not want to read. And they got hold of that Project 2025 ahead of time. And they started acting fast. You all did not act at all. But still, you are looking for a way to blame them because I is reading the community. I is reading the community because you all voted for him. Because you all gave them the power to come into Black community and other communities. If you did not vote the wrong person, ICE would not have been in that community. And that was what they tried to tell every one of you. Now, yeah, Black people, they are coming for you. Have they not been coming for them all day? Do you know what they have done to Black people just this, how many months alone? They knew they were coming. That was why they were on guard. But you guys lose guard. You lost it. Some of you want to use this opportunity to trend. We need to unite. Yeah, of course, there is need to unite. But are you guys really ready for that? Or are you saying it because of this? When you guys were never ever ready for unity. Man, it's every day we wake up is something different. You know, Black people must be blamed for their own, whatever that happens. Also, it's Black people's fault. Whatever. Anything that happens in this world is Black people that caused it. Because you all refuse to do the right thing. Because if you had done the right thing, you wouldn't have been fighting with ICE and all that. And only Black community were the only one that stood out. So quick to, if there is anything to fight for, Black people are still going to fight for themselves. Because I am not seeing any of you coming out to even speak or talk on anything. Bye for now.